Okay, essay 3. You can see what's bolded is the exordium because that's what was new this time around, as well as the precise verbs. That's the new thing that they were focusing on in essay 3. For this essay 3, yeah. Okay, for his opening paragraph, he shouldn't have a question and then a quote. So his quote was good, but he would just start with that. Our lives improve only when we take chances. Walter Anderson. Now, the exordium is not just to draw in your reader and kind of introduce the subject, but it also needs to tie to your thesis. So you need some kind of bridge sentence like this. In The Magician's Nephew by C.S. Lewis, the main character, and he could have even said the main character, Polly, whatever, takes an incredible chance altering the course of history. Polly should have taken the ring. That's his thesis. So this doesn't have to be exactly your example that you use, but in your bridge, you should have your title of your book, and usually Anne includes the author as well. Okay, so Polly should have taken the ring. He's still having a lot of trouble in these essays on the proper way to format this. So he should have taken the ring for 3 reasons, : and then Narnia would not have been the same, would have been his first proof. She couldn't resist temptation, and she was bored and needed adventure. Also, the tenses are a little off still, so that's why I tried to reword it. You really want to be giving an example from the book, so this first one is kind of iffy. It would have been better for him to come up with an example of why Narnia wouldn't have been the same. Okay, and then, again, the formatting, they want it really very specific. The first reason, and then you say your thesis, why Polly should have taken the ring is that Narnia would not have played out the way it did. This should be 3 sentences, so he needs to have 3 sentences in that paragraph. The second reason is Polly couldn't resist the temptation, and here he does have the 3. And then the third reason, he still is missing a sentence. Then his conclusion, Polly should have taken the ring because Narnia would not have been the same. She was tempted by its beauty. I actually think this is a stronger proof, and I would suggest using it even up here instead, all 3 times that you use it. I think that's better than just saying that she was tempted or couldn't resist temptation. I think that's more specific. She was bored and needed adventure. It is missing your precise verb. You should have that bold in your paper, which one you're doing, and it also is missing parallelism. Okay, last essay, essay 4 from last week, Number the Stars. Okay. Again, these are really helpful to me. The essays that they have in the back of the book that are samples, as well as the videos, are really shed a lot of light on it. So he had a quote, but it is the same one he used last week, and he has it in the wrong place. So I wrote, use something new. Also, your exordium goes first, and remember you need to tie it in with your thesis. So you need to include your title and author and then a connection. So he needs to connect whatever he's going to use for his exordium, whether it's a quote or a question, to his thesis. And his thesis here is the Johansons should have taken Ellen in, again, for these 3 reasons, : she could die on her own. I think that needs to be reworded, and I think he does say it a little differently down here. The guards would find her, and her parents would be devastated. Now you're getting into parallelism 2. That should be in your opening paragraph for essay 4, and that's also missing. So again, the formatting still is needing to be checked here. So the first reason the Johansons should have taken Ellen in is that she would not have made it on her own. So he does have 3 short sentences here. He probably really could expand on these a bit. The second reason he needs to repeat his entire thesis, the Johanssons should have taken Ellen in, is that the guards would probably find her as she had nowhere to go. He needs a third subproof here and also in the third paragraph. In the conclusion, the Johanssons should have taken Ellen in because he has to state them the same way. And then it ends now with the amplification. So you can see here the sample amplification is Edmund caused tremendous trouble not only for himself, but even worse for his siblings and for all of Narnia. This is kind of like your clincher in IEW. So you're concluding your thought, but you're doing it with amplification on who, and here it's Edmund, and who cares? Well, who did it affect? It also affected his siblings. So he says the problem matters to you guys because Ellen was a sweet, kind, funny child and important in the story. So this is not quite an accurate amplification. I would suggest doing the worksheets. You can print them out if you don't want to use the ones in the book. And Anne's sample really helped us when we were working through this last week. And also page 342, like I said, has those samples.